Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. I am your host and dungeon master, the real Josh T, and I'm excited. It's going to be a good time tonight. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it could get pretty wild. But before we get into that, I would like everyone to introduce themselves. Let me know who you are, where we could find you. If you have something going on this week that you want to shout it out. And then also, if you could, if your character was like a person like where we live, what kind of trashy TV do you think they would watch? Like, what kind of reality TV show would be their favorite? If you could just let me know that. And We'll start. Can we start with Jake? Is that fair?
Sure. Hermione wanted to say hi. Apparently, she likes being on stream. So, my name is Jake. I'm playing Vael, the elven fighter / warlock. And what kind of reality show would he watch? I feel like he would be into Big Brother because I think he likes the. He'd be a sucker for like the cheap. It's not like. I don't think it's I like Big Brother. It's not like a cheap, trashy show, but like it has such cheese in there, and like just the stuff with like Zingbot and like all that stuff. Otev, there's just great things in there, and I feel like he would get into the strategy just like I do. So
that's a pretty great choice. I honestly like. I guess I kind of. I think it's not really trashy, but I could see Vael being really into like what is the show the where the pawn shop, like that type stuff, or like
just thinking that that could be good too. Or you know what, he would probably like the one with Mike and Frank because he likes history and they go over like the history of stuff. I forget the name of that one.
I don't know that one, but I could see that too.
Yep, that's a good question. Let's throw it over to Evan to answer this next one. Let's see what he says.
Oh, man. I think he would probably. I think Echo would be into the like dancing competition shows. I think that would be his vibe. I don't know why. I just think that would be it.
I could see that, and I actually almost spit my water out when you said
so
that.
Good.
I can imagine him being like so against like everything, and then like like hating it, like I can't believe you waste your time watching show, and then suddenly like that's on, he's like, oh wow, like, just like really.
Like, why are they talking so much about this person's story? I just want to see if they know how to dance.
I love that so
great.
much.
This is boring.
And then I start dancing, and he's enraptured. What about Izzee? What do you got?
All right. Well, we're supposed to introduce ourselves. So I'm Izzee. I play Melly, and I'm not talking slower to give myself more time to think about this. Because at first I had to think of like trashy TV, like trashy reality shows.
Let's go with your gut.
I think Melly would watch a lot of like the cooking and baking shows, like definitely the Great British Bake Off, and then like those classic like cooking shows where it's like the old school with like the Italian grandma cooking in the kitchen. That would definitely be like her sweet Saturday afternoons. That's how she'd spend them.
Yeah, I see that.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm Yoda and I play Mac. And Mac would actually have two. So normally it would just be Survivor. But if he's drinking, then he would watch MTV The Challenge.
These are all such good answers.
They're great answers.
Like, wow.
Just watching people, compete against each other, trying to, just deceive or just, whether it's teams or groups and things of that nature, and people competing against each other would be what he would go for.
Excellent. You'd love to see it. Oh man.
Good.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
It's a good one, Josh.
I couldn't have hoped for better answers. I'm shocked that no one said The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. But
Well, that's your guilty pleasure.
that was my guilty pleasure. I only watched it for like 3 seasons and then I stopped. But that was like,
Isn't that what Owen watches though? I feel like Owen would watch The Bachelor.
Interesting.
Possibly.
very interesting.
Or Bachelor.
Wow.
Ooh. I feel like he would watch that. I feel like he'd watch whatever show that is on. I don't know what it's called. I've only seen the trailers for it. It's some Netflix show where they. It's like a dating show, but they're all wearing like these really horrifying costumes of like animals and that of like their favorite animal. I think Owen might watch that for whatever reason.
That show's rough.
You're seeing it?
I was made to watch a couple episodes. I did not like it very much.
Oh man, the trailer for it just looks horrible, but it looks like so bad that I actually really want to check it out, but I haven't done it yet. Oh man. Also, before we continue on with the normal introductions, a wild Meth has entered the chat. So let me drop his link down in there. You
See,
probably
here's
know.
my quick theory. I think Matt has shown up to see his map for this dragon like 5 episodes in a row. Just like Paul's like, go kill the dragon, you guys have fun. I was like, yeah, we want to talk to each other for a while. Hold on. We got stuff to talk about.
I feel like the chances of us getting to the dragon on tonight's episode are slim. Not
We'll see.
zero.
Just love-
We'll
You never
see.
know.
Dragons are okay.
You never know.
What's exciting is inter-party conflict. Huh?
Yeah, what we didn't tell you is that this is actually our own trashy reality show that we just act out together every Sunday night.
Oh gosh, it's the real adventures of Wild Mount. That's what we're watching.
Wild Mount Shore.
Oh, oh my god. There's a question for Jake that wasn't answered? Is that what I see in there? Is
Oh,
that,
I answered it. Yes, that is a giant rooster over my shoulder. And I said that's one word for it.
Nice, very nice. But Matt, as Jake just said, actually, he made the maps that we will be using if our party does indeed fight a dragon today, which, just as the DM, I'll just tell you that I personally expect them to fight a dragon today. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but just so you know. All right, so we're setting an expectation for everyone.
And then he does the recap,
Wow.
and then he's like, and the dragon swoops down.
Oh man, he was working with the frost giants the whole time. But yes, Matt made the maps that we will use for the dragon fight. He's a really cool dude. His birthday is tomorrow, and he has a promo going on his website right now. He just put it in chat. Happy Matt's Day for free maps, all maps until Tuesday. You could do that if you want, but honestly, his maps are like $1 a piece anyway. So just send him, just buy the maps because it's his birthday. So just do the thing. But anyway, I said I'm Josh from J&J Tabletop. What is J&J Tabletop? J&J Tabletop is something that Jake and I do where we just talk about D&D and all the things and how to make your games like super fun and just getting the most out of your games and everybody have a great time together playing tabletop RPGs. What we are live on right now is called Rare Drop. Rare Drop does all sorts of cool things, mostly in the podcast lane. So if you want to check out all the things that they have to offer, go to raredrop.co and they'll have all that stuff listed on there. If you want to catch up on past episodes of the show, you can see some of them on Rare Drop Roleplay's YouTube. We also have a playlist on our channel, youtube.com/JJTabletop, which is in the link tree that Jake just put in chat. But all of the episodes will be on anywhere you could find podcasts. I always say Spotify. For whatever reason, Spotify is the only place I listen to our show, but that's the only podcast I listen to on Spotify. Everything else is Pocket Casts or Apple Podcasts. It is what it is. Mr. Jacoby.
Yes, I'm trying to defend Vael's honor in chat, and it's just not being successful.
Yeah, there's a lot of Vael hate.
Wow.
I don't really like. I don't.
You know that
I don't
guy
know.
that loves everybody in the group? Yeah, kill him.
Honestly, I don't really get it. I don't understand it personally, but
I take it as a compliment. This is looking at you,
Vael is
Restored.
the Toby of ancient relics and Hokey religions. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
I'm
my
the
god.
Toby? That actually, that might track the more that I think about it. Hey guys, Michael.
Listen. Listen, everybody has to have a human resources department, okay? Nobody wants to have one, but everybody has to have
Degree in
one.
psychology. This tracks. This tracks.
Oh boy, wow. We're saying kill Vael. I thought hashtag Pierce the Veil was funny because that's a band. But good.
I was gonna say maybe you have to give the people what they want and see if they really like it.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, personally, rather than killing Vael, I would rather just do a one-on-one session with Echo. You know, just to give the people, they were talking about that earlier. Maybe there's some of that in the future. I don't know, but this is dragging on a little bit. So, Mr. Jacoby, we did a video this week because every Wednesday we release videos.
Yes.
You want to tell people about the video that we had this week?
Yeah, we've been doing some more I think our channel for the most part tends to be practical tools and philosophical approach to being the DM, and also some player building tips. But this week we did haste versus slow. So obviously 5e is the current version of Dungeons and Dragons, and we just compared and contrasted the two spells. They're both level 3 spells, typically wizard, sorcerer. Actually, Michael, did you have the option for both when you played Landor, or was that because of your magical secrets? Do you remember? Off the top of your head?
I don't remember if I had access, and I thought I only had access to haste, but I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, I remember you did choose haste, but so really haste versus slow, that kind of comes down to the age-old discussion. Is it better to buff your teammates, or is it better to debuff or hamper your enemies? And so for just a very quick recap, if you haste, you get to do that on one person. Their movement speed is doubled. They can get an extra attack in every round, and they have some better defense like AC and dexterity saving throws and stuff like that. But if you slow, you could potentially do this on 6 different opponents, and it's kind of the opposite. So their speed is halved, they have a penalty to some of their defenses, and they can only take either an action or a bonus action, but never both in the same turn. So I guess I would just ask the rest of the cast here, which do you prefer and why? We'll start with Josh, because I know you've thought about this, and give the others a chance.
Sure. I love haste. Slow is really cool, and if it saves instead of sucking, if it works, it's awesome. Really helpful if you're fighting a group of people. But haste is just there is almost no other option in the game to give you the kind of hero moments that you could get with haste. It's just I think of a moment in something that's actually we haven't aired yet, but it was a long time ago. I don't even remember how, probably close to a year ago. And basically Michael's character hasted my character, who was a fighter, and my fighter already had the mobile feat, and he was just flying around the battlefield, literally running across water, and it was nuts. You could just run and be I hit this person. It's very cool, and I'm a big fan of haste. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, check out the video on youtube.com/JJTabletop.
Yep.
I'll save you the time now and just say that I love it.
All right. So, Evan, what do you prefer? Do you prefer haste or do you prefer slow, and why?
My answer is pretty similar to Joshua Tabletop's, which is to say I love haste because you can have a lot more interesting, in my opinion, you can have a lot more interesting moments come from haste, even though slow is incredibly powerful because of the high target count. It is a little save or suck, which is rough, but you know, that is super useful. But something that you mentioned is that you can give that target an extra attack, but that's not exactly what it says. You give them an additional action, and if you use that action to attack, it's one extra attack.
Yeah.
I have had moments where I've been able to use my extra hasted action to, let's say, administer a potion to a teammate who fell down, and that was the healer.
I love
Like,
this.
we pick up that healer and then still be able to, you know, to fend off the things that were attacking that healer.
Yeah.
So it's like those moments of like unpacking, wait a minute, I can do this. Ah, that's right. And I still have
Yep.
all this movement. It's very, very cool. You get a lot of fun stuff out of it.
Very cool. All right, Michael, what do you think? I know you have experience with haste as a caster in our other campaign we played, but what are your thoughts?
As much as slow looks cool, to me haste never fails. Unless it can be counterspelled, I'm not sure. Probably could be. But I mean, unless in that rare
Yes.
occurrence, you know, it's gonna work every time. Whereas slow, you could cast it and it could hit 6 people and all of them could save. And it wouldn't affect a single person and you would have just burned a 3rd level, you know, slot.
Yeah, that's probably the most ironclad reason I think to pick haste is the fact that it's not like someone's gonna be like, no, you can't haste me. I resist you. That's the way that goes. How about you, Izzee?
I think I want to pick slow because, like, obviously haste has its advantages, but I feel like slow is something the entire party can benefit from.
Mhm.
So obviously there's the risk reward of whether or not they save, but if they don't save,
Yeah.
everybody is safer and everybody can get more attacks on it. Or, you know, if there's some sort of ranged spell, they have to make a dexterity save.
Yep.
Isn't there some sort of disadvantage with that?
They get a penalty, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it also depends on the makeup of your party, as it does with like most things that
Well,
spellcasters take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, I love every answer that you all put together. And for me, it comes down to how many targets are in the fight, because, I mean, unless it is a wisdom save for slow. So if you know you're going against fools, then maybe slow is much more much more effective. If you have a lot of potential targets, that raises the ceiling for slow and also increases the odds that would be effective. So let's just take our current situation. Going up against the dragon, I'm not even considering slow. I would go haste all the time because one roll from the dragon and that's not a thing. But if we were fighting a group of frost giants, that might be something to think about. It might be more effective to help slow down the party. So that's where I would land on it. And yeah.
I think Skelly brings up an excellent point there. He said haste makes you go fast like his hero, Sonic the Hedgehog. I have to agree, because Sonic the Hedgehog is my inspiration.
Oh, he's everything I want to be.
Yeah, same. So
That's it.
One more quick thing. I know we're kind of going long on the intro here, but one more quick thing we wanted to mention. We thought it would kind of be important to mention, since we talk about games, how to run your games, and usually try to give like a little bit of advice in the intro here, is a tweet from my boy at Jay and Jake underscore at Jay and Jake underscore, in which, I mean, I don't know if you want to explain that or if you want me to.
You can go for it. I'll put a link to it in chat.
Essentially, somewhere on the interwebs,
It was Twitter.
yep, somewhere on the Twitterverse, somebody said it was D&D advice telling DMs that the trick to railroading, or the trick to DMing, is to railroad the players and just make sure that they don't realize you're doing it. That is like literally the worst advice that anyone could give you. Like, if you're a DM, just don't do that. It is okay. It is okay to have a railroad game as long as everyone knows that it is a railroad game. That's totally fine. You know, sometimes you just all aboard and just pop on, you know. That's fine. They're fun. A lot of one-shots are like that. Some regular campaigns are like that, and that's okay. But if you tell your players that they have a choice and their choice matters and they could affect like what they do and the outcome of things, and they don't actually have that choice, it might work until they find out you're doing that. Like, I don't know about you, but if I thought I had a choice about something and then suddenly I found out that like all of my choices didn't matter at all, I would be really upset about it.
Yeah,
and I think you would lose a lot of trust there.
absolutely. This is a game about trust and communication, and that's the kind of thing, like, you just don't do it. And, you know, there's a lot of great people on the internet, but as you know, the internet, it's like, you know, Abraham Lincoln said you can trust everything you read on the internet because it's true. You know, it's that kind of a thing. So just because someone spits something out there, I realize that I'm on the internet saying that right now, but it doesn't mean that it's good advice. Just
I think he said that in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, right?
right. No, Vampire Hunter 2. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. This
Okay.
a squeakquel.
What?
Every time I make Evan turn his head and shake it like that, I just feel like I have won Pundum. So, yeah. Don't do that. Don't be a jerk. That's a jerk DM move. The better thing to do would be to talk to your players ahead of time and ask them what's going on.
Keep making jokes like that, I'm gonna have to break out my soundboard.
Oh no. Oh no.
Vampiric Boogaloo. Okay. Wonderful. Well, with all that being said, if you want to learn how to have great games and you know, create an experience, a fulfilling experience for your players where they do have agency and where you can just have a great game together and a great experience together without feeling lied to or being the liar, check out youtube.com/J&J Tabletop, because that's where we really get into detail on all the concepts and all that kind of thing. And if you have questions, or if you have like a situation that you're in as a player or a DM, you can either message us on anything or just go on Discord, which is going to be in the link tree over there, and we'll be happy to talk to you about it or help you work it out or anything like that. So we are here to help. So, and also, it may be 7:35 Eastern, but I'm drinking coffee. Oh, you probably this. I don't know if I've probably showed this off before. This is me and my dog. Yeah.
Hey.
It decides to shepherd dad. I didn't buy this for myself, but yes, I'm drinking Favorite Coffee right now. Fantastic company, local Long Island, women-owned business. She does a lot of great things for the community, and that's the type of company you should support. And also, you should support King's Coast Coffee, because they also have some great coffee, and I think they have some new stuff going on too. So definitely check them out. Keep an eye on all their stuff. I think if you do Command Coffee, yep, you do Command Coffee, it'll pop up right over there. So without further ado, let's talk about what happened last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. Last week, our adventurers, they were in a cave after hiding from a storm and fighting some dire wolves and a winter wolf, and fighting the elements themselves, hiding out the storm and just trying to make it through the night. Unfortunately, Vael did not die last week. I know you're all so sad to hear that, but but we had a lot of inter-party conflict, a lot of conversations, a lot of Vael pulled Melly aside. They had some talks about what was going on, if she was okay, if she's just blindly following Mac. It seemed like Mac wasn't super happy that there's all these side conversations happening, and he just put on his sleeping cap and his nightgown and he went to sleep. And when Mac went to sleep, Carrick and Echo had their own side conversation, with a lot of subtext, as usual. And well, after Carrick went down for the night, Vael and Echo were able to have their own side conversation as well. And they seemed to get on the same page a little bit. Echo let Vael know the burden that he was carrying, having a weapon made by Owen. He told him that Owen loses a part of himself every time he builds one of those, and he didn't get a choice. And if you know Echo, you know that he loves freedom and having a choice. He hates to not have a choice. So to be given that burden and really not having any say of it, it was taking a toll on him, and also seeing Vael just kind of willy-nilly and just excited about it was not a great thing either. But the two of them were able to talk, and it seems like they're in a pretty okay place, a little better place. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in, anyway. But after all of the conversations and everything, there was an Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights. Everybody went to sleep. Vael and Carrick both tried to take first watch, which didn't work out. So Vael took first watch. He saw the dragon fly across the sky, just hint at future battles. Next morning, there's snow everywhere, deep snow, but Carrick, being an expert explorer and tracker and ranger, especially in this area, he was able to help them move through without getting stuck too much. Upon traveling through this mountainside, this snowy mountainside, they came across something, the remains of an ogre that was likely killed by this dragon. It was ripped apart, bloody, and frozen, like a statue, as a reminder of what creature owns this place, these lands, and whose hunting grounds you're on. Taking note of everything they saw, they continued on, and they were able to find the icy fortress of the Frost Giants. As they walked closer and closer, they came across two guards standing at least 20 feet tall. Each of them with a pale blue skin and white hair and yellow, almost like feral, glowing eyes. Carrick introduced himself, or greeted them at least, and they responded in their native tongue, saying, "Heard." Don't you hate it when you click the link on D&D Beyond to take you to a specific place and it doesn't take you to that place? love you, D&D Beyond, but
How
Don't
embarrassing.
right? And they said, "Worst first there," and we'll pick up right there. The only other thing I should mention is that we did a Talkie Religions this week, and you should watch that when we post it, and we'll do that again sometime in the future.
Talk about not railroaded. Anyways. I think Vael would just be looking at Carrick.
Yeah, Carrick in response to this, will just say, "I'm Carrick Singarin. These are my friends. We've come from Uthadern, and we seek an audience." They kind of just look at you, don't say anything for like, there's a good like 15 seconds where they just don't respond at all. And they'll just say, "Why have you come here?" in common. "Why should we let you speak to our leader? Why should we let you in to our home?" Carrick will kind of look at you guys and then look back to them and continue on, and he's continuing walking towards them as he says, "I'm sure you know there's a dragon in these lands. We mean to kill it, but we thought we would come and give you an opportunity to share in the glory. Respectfully, we would like to see your Jarl." And I guess we'll roll. What hope do you have to kill a dragon? The 5 of you are very small. The Jarl will probably enjoy a good laugh. Follow me. And it'll open up the gate. This large, probably like 60-foot tall gate in this icy fortress, just made of like a mixture of actual ice and stone and the mountainside itself. And it just slowly opens as snow starts to spill off of it. And Carrick just kind of looks to the 4 of you and just gives you like a I think it's working, you know, like that kind of look, you know. And Carrick will continue walking in. I'm assuming you guys follow him, but
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
all right.
definitely.
Very nice.
So while we're walking in, Melly just wants to like look around, not suspiciously, but like make a conscious observation of their surroundings, and kind of just be aware of, like, I guess, like, areas that might look safer if they were to try to attack us, places where we could maybe get out.
Okay. Why don't you make a perception check, and I'll say you could either use your intelligence modifier or your wisdom modifier for that. I know typically perception is wisdom, but there's some knowledge in there too if you're trying to think of what might be a safe place and that kind of thing, you know? So I'll allow either.
7.
Okay. uh, so also real quick, didn't Melly like buff a lot of the party like earlier on, right? Like, but when you were kind of like walking through the mountainside and everything.
Yeah, she did. Hold on, I have to look at what I used.
I just want to make sure everyone is. I don't remember exactly what you did. I just want to make sure everyone is aware of it and that if there's any bonuses from it, they're being applied.
Yeah, Melly hit her immediate party with a 3rd level aid.
Yeah, I
Very
still
nice.
have the 10 extra hit points applied.
Very nice. So not yourself, but the other 3 of them, or all 4 of you?
I can only get 3, so it would have been, yeah, Echo, Vael, and Mac.
Very nice. Okay. So looking around as you kind of walk through into this fortress of ice, it's kind of like you've never seen anything like this before. You've never seen anything like a dwelling made for creatures this large, and then also most of it is made out of ice itself. So all of it is just kind of like it's just kind of like amazing to you. So you almost get lost in that aspect of it as you're walking down, and there's these long corridors and somewhat of an open floor plan. Like you're like, wow, look at these frost giants. Good for you. Maybe there's some shiplap in there. I don't know, but as you just are more focused on like the grandeur of it than more than finding places for safety. It kind of caught you off guard.
As Melly walks down the corridor, she says to herself, I wonder if they could teach me how to build an igloo. They seem very handy with ice.
Very nice. So as you kind of you continue through, you're brought into this this just kind of like corridor room, and there's a door on the end, and there's a couple doors lining the hallway as well, and the one of them looks back to you and just says, wait here. And they leave you, and but before they leave you, he kind of opens the door in front, turns around, and he says, if you try anything, we will feast on your flesh while you still breathe. And he walks through the door and closes it behind him.
Is it just us at the moment?
It is just you all at the moment.
Okay.
Well, at least we know they won't eat our lungs.
Always looking at the silver lining, I see.
What little there is, yes.
For whatever reason, I don't find that comforting.
Which one of us do you think tastes the best? If this was to happen. That's the right question to ask right now, right?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Okay.
Just
The only thing I could think of was making jokes right there, and I didn't think it was appropriate.
How common a thing are giants, actually? Like,
They're-
is it likely that we would have seen giants at some point?
you might have run into giants before, but I would say you've probably never run into frost giants. They're really only in like the frigid, icy areas of Wild Mount, or any setting for the most part. And while you are like, Bicesteel is pretty far up north. It's not exactly like it's not an ideal location for them. But you've probably run into hill giants before, maybe the occasional stone giant, something like that. Just depending on where you've adventured. And
I was just curious because it's like 20 feet compared to a halfling. It's a lot of feet.
it is. That's a
It's like
lot.
7 times taller than a halfling. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll say for the most part, Echo is pretty intimidated. Like he was feeling okay when they were far away and we were kind of talking to them, and then walking in and seeing like how big everything is, and like looking at a chair and like, okay, yeah, no, it's great. So yeah, for that nervous, terrible joke that he made is probably the first thing that he said. And he didn't sound very confident in it, so you could tell he's
He's
not
feeling
doing
it.
so hot.
Yeah.
Well, they may be big, but it would surprise me if they could move as quickly as you can. They'd have to catch you first.
And again, they're so big that they might be able to walk as fast as I can run.
Have you ever tried to pick up a rabbit?
Fair point. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Going to say
Agreed.
maybe we should just make sure no one tries anything. Not that I think anyone would.
Whoever
And
are
by
you
that-
talking about?
I was saying that I don't think anyone would try anything.
Well,
But
I think that's good advice.
are we going to have a designated person to negotiate with them?
Lady Melinda seemed to do a pretty good job.
I could definitely give it a shot.
Unless you have something else in mind.
No, I just will think of them as very large potential customers.
Just remember, they respect strength. There's no need to flaunt it, but if there is some form of belittlement, I think you would be fine to let them know that we will accomplish this task. You're merely offering them the chance to join.
And just remember, size matters not in the battle of wits and words.
All right, well, I will keep all of that in mind. And if something happens, someone feel free to jump in.
Carrick will kind of like put his hand on your shoulder and just say, I'm sure you'll do fine. You have nothing to worry about. You're very persuasive, and we're all here to back you up. You have our complete trust.
Thank you, everyone. How long do you think it'll take their y'all? Is that how you say it? To be ready for an audience?
Royals and nobles tend to act as they wish, so I don't know.
Is your majesty an appropriate greeting, or your leadership?
I think the first step would be he is the Jarl. Jarl.
That's what I said. The y'all.
Yes, of course.
It's like, do you remember the bartender at where we met? Like Carl? Just with a Y. But really a J, but it just for purposes of this, it's a Y.
Carl? Why? Y'all.
Oh dear.
It's. I'm sure it will be fine. Just. I'm sure it will be fine. You can refer to him as your greatness. Anything to play to his strengths, but just don't flatter him too much. Just be respectful.
I think I can handle respect and strength.
I think so too.
Vael is just needlessly kind of like tapping his foot. Just like, all right. Just looking around.
How big is the room that we're in?
It's I mean, it's probably like 60 feet long, 40 feet wide, something like that. It's just like a little like corridor, a little connection area. Not anything crazy. I mean, it might seem big relative to the size of you guys, but against the size of them, it's a fairly small room. So after probably a solid like 7 minutes of waiting, the one who threatened you opens the door and looks to you and just says, Jarl Ragnar will see you. And door opens up and it's a very large room with it's got like a long kind of like just like a very long table on it with bench seating on either side. It almost looks like some sort of like feast hall, but at the other end of the room there is a short like staircase up to like a stage with a large throne made of ice and a massive and kind of like terrifying looking creature sits. Same, like similar with like a bluish skin. The hair is a little bit more gray than it is white, and his eyes are also blue. I mean, he's sitting down. It's kind of hard to see how tall he is when he's sitting, but he definitely looks bigger than the other two that you saw. And as you walk in, the giant who opened the door for you will just say, Jarl, these are the outsiders. Just looks at you, almost like has like a comedic like grin for a second, like he's being punked, looks behind him, and he'll say to you, what brings you here today? Does someone of your size really mean to fight a dragon?
Great Jarl Ragnar. We do seek to fight a dragon. We come here to present a potential opportunity. We know that all of you are strong and great. So we only asked for the opportunity to discuss potentially working together.
So you do not think you could kill it yourself, and you came here seeking the help of us?
Please make no mistake in our intention. We will be destroying the dragon, with or without your help. But we know that with your strength, it may be a swifter battle. And then we can all share in the splendor of a battle won.
Roll some sort of charisma check for me. I'm thinking persuasion, but if you have something else that you feel will fit a little bit better, go for it.
Oh, we could do persuasion. Okay. 17.
When he hears you say, like, we'll share in the glory together, he just has this deep, like, you are a very proud young warrior. Very confident. Most of my men are warring another tribe. The gods sent us weather for raiding last night. I cannot spare a man to fight alongside you. And aside from that, my firstborn, Jorn, went off to kill this dragon a week ago. He has not returned. Do you think you can succeed where he likely failed?
We do intend to. And challenges such as this will not damper our drive into battle. My condolences for your son not coming back. We hope that maybe we can slay the dragon and perhaps bring back something for you of your son, that you might do burial traditions that you carry out. You're muted.
With which weapon do you fight?
Each of us brings something different. Some with fists, others with a bow, and yet others with daggers. I myself fight with a magic.
He picks up a chalice that's been sitting next to him, swirls the liquid around, takes a sip. You fight with magic. Well, my son carries around a necklace of great importance. If he has indeed fallen, I will give you a great reward for bringing back this token. And though I cannot send men, I will aid you the best way I can. Do you accept?
Yes. You have my word that I will do everything in my power to bring back that token from your son should he be fallen. And if he is not fallen, I will do everything I can to return him here to you.
Many of our kind make the mistake of looking down upon those who are smaller. Even though you travel with children, I still have faith that you may take down this dragon. And I would be lying if I said I was not impressed by the courage and determination that you show. The people of Uthadurn are a resilient bunch.
Your words have bolstered our courage. We look forward to coming back and bestowing what we can upon you.
Before you go, we will share a drink, and I will have my aide bring something to help. Please take a seat. And he stands up and kind of like stretches a little bit as he stands, and this giant is like, he's got to be like 25, 26 feet tall, something like that, like standing a full like man size taller than the other two massive giants that you saw. And he just begins to walk down to like the feast table that they have, and he stands at the head of it and waits.
Is there like a rope ladder or something that we can use to get?
They do you actually say that?
Oh no.
Okay. What does anyone do in response to take a seat when these chairs are like massive? Like how does anyone react to that?
All right,
I would
Echo.
say Echo would definitely look around like is he serious? Like looking for maybe there's another chair. But
Does there
within
appear
few
to be a
seconds
way
would definitely you'd definitely try to climb up one of the chairs.
Another climbing check. We're doomed.
Yeah, why
That's where we all die.
why don't you make a climbing check?
Can I use acrobatics by using my Staff of the Wilds to do a cool move to get up there?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 23.
It's 23.
Yeah.
Nice. How's everybody else doing?
The 15 for me.
Okay.
All rolling strength check.
If you have a reason to roll something else, go for it. Well, you just need to explain why it would be something else.
Nope. I don't have a reason for it to be anything else. I got a 12.
Okay. And Mr. Vael?
They'll just gets within 30 feet of the chair and Misty steps up.
Just really? Okay. Yeah. And Carrick will climb up to you. I mean, these chairs are about like 6 feet tall.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I would just easily climb up to something like that.
Yeah.
Should I roll something, or was that a half?
Yeah, you could roll something.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's fine. You get up on the chair. You look small on the chair. Like it's kind of like those really like obnoxiously large like beach rocking chair type things that you always see people take pictures with. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like you're sitting on one of those. And
Can we reach the table?
you could reach the table. Yeah, it's just it's
Okay.
a stretch, but you could reach it. He snaps his finger, and it's like a booming, like it almost sounds like a clap when he snaps his finger. It's so loud because of obviously his size is just massive. And an aide brings forth these cups, and they're a little bit larger than average, but they have had other guests before, whether in the form of like prisoners or anything like that. So they're you're able to use them. It's not like it's a giant sized cup. And they pour in each of these cups this like blood red, but like also kind of clear liquid. Not a ridiculous amount, probably like a double shot worth. Maybe a little bit more than that for the two halflings because it is a slightly bigger cup. And the Jarl will sit down and look at Melly and just say, Jordan was going to this dragon to tame it. It is a very dangerous thing. In our culture, one needs to prove himself and prove that he is strong. He hopes to surpass me one day. And he thought this would be the way. Bring back the memento if he is dead. And let me know where I can retrieve his body. You may take the Horde of the Dragon. And he'll raise his glass and look to you. And what do you think this blood red liquid is? Before I tell you what it is, like, is anyone's character like worried that this is something like what's going through Echo's head when he has like a glass of something that of an undisclosed liquid that he has to drink and doesn't know what it is?
Well, Echo would definitely make a point to smell it first. Like almost immediately, just like, oh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, well, okay, what does he smell like? What, or does he smell anything?
It smells alcoholic. It smells like I guess why don't you Why don't you roll perception?
Okay.
Or nature? I don't know to decide how much you get out of it, aside from just that it smells like alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if it matters. If I get to choose, I would rather go perception because the modifier is higher.
Yeah, that's
But,
fine.
It's a decent roll either way. You know what? I think it would make more sense for it to be nature than for it to be perception.
Okay.
So I'll say it's a 17 instead of a 19.
17. That's still fine. So yeah, you pick up you immediately like a smell of alcohol in there, and you also kind of I see you like kind of swirl it for a second. You see that it's a little bit of like a thickness to it, not like grossly thick, but well maybe slightly thicker than wine, or what's the word I'm looking for, like more syrupy than wine.
A viscous.
Yeah. And it's you get a smell of a little bit of like honey and some cherry as well.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I think, after smelling that, he would have no problem taking the drink. He does feel a little weird about it, but he's just used so far, like every time we've had a meeting with a person, it's like, here's this drink. And he's like, okay, this is just how it is now. If I'm going to get poisoned, then I'm going to get poisoned. But here we are.
Very nice. Does anyone have anything that they want to do, or we just continue forward, take a sip, and move forward?
I don't think Vael would do anything particularly odd here, other than just he probably would have did a quick little and then just drank it. But
Yeah.
And Mac just downs it.
I knew he would. Everyone's is fine, but Mac, make a Constitution check. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean it's like a cherry mead, and it's a little bit tart, but also like kind of smooth. Like it's a little nicer drinking than you thought it would be for someone as hard as like a giant that is all about strength. They're drinking honey wine, but it's it's good. I mean, it's very, if that's the kind of thing that your character would like, it's very good. And the Ragnar will put the chalice down, and he'll his aide after a moment will walk back into the room and bring back this to them it's like a small vial. To you it's like about potion size, and it's like this bluish liquid with all these little like bubbles in it, and he'll hand it to Melly, and when Melly, when you take it, it actually feels cold to the touch, and Jarl Ragnar will say to you, drink this, and it will help you withstand the elements. The dragon's icy breath will do nothing. And he'll
there's one of these.
there's just one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. And the aide will also just kind of look to you all, and it looks a little, this guy looks a little kind of like crazy. He's got like the crazy eyes, you know. like oh, I was just looking at that squirrel over there, like that kind of thing. And he'll kind of look like straight through Melly and just say, I saw this in an omen that 5 would come to defeat the great beast. You all though you are small like children, are proud warriors, and if the dream is true, you will be victorious. Are you afraid?
No. We go into battle with brave.
Good. Very good. And he just gets up and turns around and walks away. But everyone, you could all take your own individual luck point.
Ooh. So how does that work again? That's like you give a re-roll, right? To an attack roll, a saving throw, ability check, I think, right?
Exactly. So
Oh, that could be
essentially,
clutch.
whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined, and you choose whichever d20 is issued. I'm sorry. And then you could just choose whichever d20 to use for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Yes. Okay.
And also, when an attack roll is made against you, you could roll a d20 and choose whether that attack essentially uses the initial roll or your luck point roll. Okay. And let's just take a quick pee break, because holy cow, I've been drinking a lot of coffee and a lot of water, and I gotta take a quick pee break, so we will be right back. So, FBO, don't read chat, please, thanks. Great, I love to see it. So, after you have that weird eye contact with the aide, he walks out, and Ragnar will look to you and just say, and he's really focusing his conversation to Melly. As you could tell, he kind of respects her the most. And he just says, if indeed you are able to kill this dragon, we shall celebrate and feast together, and our ancestors will be honored by the deeds you have done.
Feast
All
that.
right. Good.
Melly definitely would have interrupted him. Yeah, so she'll say, that's a feast that I know we all will be looking forward.
This will be a great month. Good luck to you all. And may the All-Father give you his blessing.
Is the phrase "All Father" something we would know?
Roll a history check.
All right, all right. That's an 18.
The phrase "the All-Father" is definitely it's a name that you would know. You would have heard of. Essentially, Anam, the All-Father, is in like giant lore. He created all of the giants and put them on the world. They were reflections of his divine offspring and the children of the world, thought to be birthed from the marrow of mountains, the hot blood of volcanoes, and the breath of hurricanes.
Okay. That's good to know.
We shall return triumphant. Thank you for lending us your strength. I'm certain the All-Father will look and
As
guide us.
sorry.
That's all.
As you're like you're all walking out, he'll just shout out, "And fell su Overneer." And the guard who opened the door kind of nods his head in agreeance. Then you're led out of the fortress and back into the ravine. And the one guard is still out there. The other one is the one who's opening the door for you and letting you walk through. And he'll say to you, "As far as we know, this dragon lives up on the higher slopes of the mountain, just north of here. Shouldn't be but 10 or 12 miles.
Are there any paths that you know of that have been carved out? Perhaps the path that Yarn took?
There is no such path. The mountain is an unforgiving place. And those who decide to make the journey up carve their own paths."
All good information to have. Thank you.
Did the giant kind of at least indicate, like maybe like a peak to head to or anything like that?
Kind of hard to point it out, like where you're at, because you're like you're essentially like in between two. You're like in the middle of a ravine.
Yeah.
So like even like looking up, you could really only see like the top of these two walls, if you will, mountain walls. But he did say, continue north up this mountain.
Okay. I think Vael would just follow Melly and or Carrick in the direction that we're going, so that we're kind of like out of earshot.
Sure.
Wow.
Cool. Nice.
Dunzo.
Thank you.
Oh, that's my first rare drop ban.
Very nice.
At least it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, easy peas. So, yeah, I mean, you continue down and I think the way forward is very clear. There's really only one way forward right now. So you could all kind of continue in that direction. Then at a certain point, it's very clear that that you're definitely out of earshot at this point. So
Good job in there, Melly.
it was very impressive.
You. I have to be honest, that was kind of terrifying. I have never met anyone quite as large as that giant was. He was so big, he looked like the other giants looked small compared to him. And they were huge.
He was rather large.
Yes. He seemed to respect your magic, which is a strength that I'm guessing he does not have.
Well, I'm thankful that he was willing to lend us some of his strength. Does anyone know what this is? Melly says, holding the potion of cold resistance. Did he explain that to us? I don't remember now.
He mentioned that if you drank it, it would help protect you from the element of cold. It would protect you from the dragon's icy breath, as he put it.
So, I'll put this in the bag of holding for now. Sorry for committing all of you to something you might not necessarily to have been committed to, but it felt like something all of you would either want to do or at least want to help me with. So I hope that wasn't too presumptuous.
I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that we knew exactly what we were doing when we decided to let you speak for us.
You did quite well. I'm not entirely sure what it is you're even referring to.
Well, agreeing to bring back the token of Yarn, should he be fallen.
I think that's only right.
I mean, he did say there'd be a reward.
That's
Was it
true.
just me, or did he make it seem like there was a reward for you specifically? Anyone else find that odd?
Like only for Melly? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what Carrick picked up on, at least.
He did seem especially interested in your magic. You showed a surprising level of respect, I think, to him, which he picked up on, and you also did not necessarily humble yourself in doing so, which I think he also respected. He saw something in you.
Might be funny to say, but it's very easy to have the confidence that I have when I have all of you with me. I've never spoken like that before. Not before I met all of you, at least. Sure, I could sell, some milk and wine to someone running a tavern, but... Well, how I was with the Queen is how I was with most authority figures. So, you all definitely give me the confidence that I need to be able to facilitate our conversations.
Vael just looks like just very proud of you right now as he's looking at you.
As Melly was saying that, she was making eye contact with each of you. Not Carrick, because he's...
Dirty Singarin.
When you made eye contact with Mac, he kind of just like nods just a little bit.
I almost spit out my coffee. When I said that, I meant it to each of you. Well, each of you except for Carrick. F that guy.
I mean...
No, I get it. It was just funny. Carrick will actually he'll say to you all and did you hear what he said as we left? Anfel su Uveneer.
Yes, I was curious what that meant, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Attack our enemies.
Is that some
is the
sort
plan.
of giant war cry?
I don't know.
Well, we have their backs, in a way, or they have ours. We went in looking for support, and it appears that's what we got.
They are a great ally to have.
Certainly better to have them as allies than enemies.
Well, I agree with you there, brother.
We're still walking and talking, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Vael would just be having, especially once things start getting, treacherous, Vael would start having Isla, flying around and just trying to help navigate anything that might help to know what's ahead.
Sure. Why don't you have Isla roll perception?
Okay. Based on sight?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll roll this one again. 6. 14 plus 3, 17.
17?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, so far, I mean, the next couple miles at least, as far as Isla can tell. They look fairly clear as you continue up the side of this mountain, and even with Carrick doing his best to help like lead you all along like the journey, ranger things, it's still pretty tough. It's still a pretty tough journey.
I'm sorry, but I have to know the answer to this. Were we wearing the snowshoes that entire time?
Were you wearing the snowshoes that entire time?
I think we were, weren't we?
I mean, I think Mac would have taken them off as we were going inside.
Just something about that visual that just made me go like, okay, hold on. It's snowshoes.
Stepping through the hallway like.
Probably in the 7 minutes that we had to wait for the yo.
That's great. That was great. So it's a tough and taxing journey on there, but the weather is definitely better than it was yesterday. And can I get a D6 from? Actually, let me give a D6 from everyone. And I should also grab my handy dandy notebook.
I got a 2.
I got a 1.
I want to know if you're going to sit down in your thinking chair and think.
Only thing I ever do.
Oh boy.
Come on, someone gets that reference, right?
Of course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
How's that possible?
Oh my god. Jake is so old, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know Blue's Clues.
How old is he?
So old that I couldn't think of the rest of the punchline.
Skelly, because I was an adult when that came out, that's why.
Does Michael know that? I guess better question. Michael, do you know Blue's Clues?
Yes, I know Blue's Clues.
Alright.
I didn't watch it as a kid because I am also too old. But
Nia says I'm 80. Thanks, Nia.
Wow. Alright.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Wow. So you will continue on up. And I'm sorry, I had a 1, a 2, and what were the other D6s? I got so thrown by Jake not knowing Blue's Clues that I forgot.
6.
4.
Okay. Give me one moment to think in my thinking chair. Alright. So yeah, so far journey's pretty good, pretty quiet aside from the sound of the wind on the mountain. And just continue on. And what are you doing, like, traveling through? Is anyone looking out for anything specific? Are you just like eyes to the skies, you know, checking for dragons? Are you like, what does it look like on an individual level? Are you just kind of following the leader, or
So Mac, for the most part, would be looking more ground level, looking for movement and anything that seems unnatural movement, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that he would never look up, but he knows that Isla is up there and that other people are, hopefully, not everyone is looking at the ground, but he would be looking at the ground more so than just kind of like, maybe obviously looking up every once in a while, but probably more to like check the weather than actually looking for dragons.
Okay. Anybody else, or just all kind of mirroring that?
I think Echo's definitely still looking skyward.
Mhm.
Almost more out of curiosity than anything. Like, kind of wanting to see it again, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He's been very quiet during this travel.
That Melly would be splitting her attention. Like if most people were looking skyward, she would try to look forward and vice versa. Just that way she knows like all the bases are covered.
Sure.
I think Vael would just be taking up the rear. Just trying to make sure the group itself, like if someone's struggling or something like that with anything that might be weird or treacherous, to help them out if they need it. And like Michael said, like with Isla up in the sky, he's kind of making that her job as far as his attention is concerned in a way.
Sure. Can you have Isla roll a d12 for me?
D12, all right.
Yeah.
10.
10?
I don't know if it's good or bad, but 10.
I guess we'll find out.
Yep. Yeah, I have Odin opens up.
Nice. Oh man, that's a deep cut. I was gonna quote more of that, but I'm probably better if I don't. So.
I agree.
Man. Wonderful. So,
Goodbye, Aw, Evan.
so as y'all continue through, Carrick will just say, I don't think we ever discussed strategies about this. I know we have that potion. Do we know who's to use it? Obviously there's only one.
I think there's one of us who can raise the dead, so that's... I think Melly.
One of us can raise the dead?
Well, technically,
Two.
and Echo wiggles his hand, wiggles his fingers.
That's true, but you have some other protections against the cold because of the ring. But that is a fair point.
Oh, don't misunderstand. I agree with you, Vael. I think there's only one choice.
I have to say, you are all full of surprises, and most of them good surprises. Most of them.
Well, I may be the voice of dissent here, but I think Echo should take the potion.
Why do you think that?
Because obviously I don't know the terrain that we're going to be fighting on, but the chances are he's going to be out in the open with nowhere else to kind of go if and while we're fighting this dragon. I have a few options for making my way in and out. Melly has the ability, and you do too, of being more ranged and possibly either having some cover or being, separating and spreading out a little bit. But of the people that are going to be right up front and going to be out in the open, he probably has the strongest chance of being hit. Granted, I look at Carrick. I'm not exactly sure what you're good at, so I don't know if you would be up there also. But I still trust him more. And I nodded at Echo. No offense.
None taken. I wouldn't take it anyway. It would be better used on one of you.
I certainly think those are the two leading candidates. I still favor Melly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm good with either option. I just wanted to mention that.
Whoever is going to be in the line of fire should be the one to have it. If it's going to protect from dragon's breath. So I know there's no way to know for certain who will be right there. But based off of what Mac just said, it probably does make more sense for Echo to have it.
Since Max said what he said, Echo has been kind of like looking at the ground in a way that's like, I guess I hadn't really thought about that. Not like upset, but just like kind of the realization that like, oh my god, like everything that he said. So like, yeah, he's gonna be right in front of the dragon's mouth, getting hit right in the face with a lot of that frost breath. He's really not going to want to get in the way of that, but he's going to be right there. I can get out of the way. Like, just every part of that conversation, Echo's starting to kind of...
the sweat beating up.
Mm-hmm.
So, DM asking, didn't you put like a I forget what the spell is, but absorb elements in there, in the ring that Echo has.
Vael referenced that a little earlier.
It will protect one time, right? It's against a single attack. It's a reaction against one attack.
Yes, but Melly doesn't have anything,
right?
Which is why he. I think Vael's he's got his brow furrowed, and he says, "Melly, you mentioned some kind of other protection that you can do now, and did you use that on yourself already?"
No.
Speaking about Death Ward.
No.
Perhaps one of you gets that and the other gets the potion.
Well, so the interesting thing is that I can take that and I can split it, and I could protect two people with.
Oh.
And it will only get you up in time enough to run away. But if you take any other damage at all, that will be that. And it'll just be a matter of Echo or myself getting to whoever goes down at that point.
Well, I think the two people who could raise the dead. Vael actually just looks at Mac at that point. Should probably each get that one.
Solid tactics.
I don't think either of you getting this is a bad choice, so...
Melly, I would rather you kept this.
I don't know if it makes sense for me to have it. I'm going to be behind shelter or far away from the dragon.
You're muted.
How can you be sure that there will be shelter to hide behind?
Well, he's got hordes of gold from what the frost giants were saying, so there's got to be a pile of something somewhere.
I think the only thing we know for sure is that there is treasure and a lot of ice wherever this beast is laying. We could always try to scout out what we're up against before we do this, but if that has any kind of a time limit, we should wait till the last moment to take it anyways.
There's no way that we would know roughly how long that would last, right? Just through what he said, there's nothing to indicate. He basically just said it would protect.
The potion?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say how long it would last, no, but I mean, spending you could make like an intelligence check with advantage, and I'll tell you.
I'll do that. Why not? Just straight intelligence check?
Investigation or Arcana, probably Arcana.
Okay. It was 2 14s. Same number twice in a row.
You've definitely heard of this kind of thing before. It's not like it's uncommon, but it's not like a super rare item. You know, you've heard stories, and you know that it lasts like roughly around an hour.
Okay. Well, if memory serves from similar things, it should give us about an hour to work with. It's not nothing, but it's not a lot of time. I don't feel comfortable taking this from you, Melly. I understand the risks. But the idea of taking this protection away from you is a bit of a non-starter for me.
Do everything in my power to protect all of while we're in the battle. And I won't fight any of you on this decision if this is what you all think is. I know that me being awake and able to provide healing is important. I'll do my best not to let any of you down.
Vael just gives you a nod.
I haven't been with you all very long, but you've yet to let me down so far. So, as said before, you have my utmost trust and faith in you. All of you. And he has he makes eye contact with all of you when he says that, and looks at Mac for a little bit extra, and Vael for a little extra as well.
That just says, the only thing I was really thinking about when it comes to tactics would be to somehow draw it out into the open in some way, and turns towards Mac and says, "You tend to be good at starting." He kind of smiles a fight.
Yeah, if I could catch it off guard.
And that would be the signal for us all to go for it.
I mean, that, and if we can lure it out, then we at least have, I'm not going to say advantage with the terrain, because it knows this area probably better than we do, but we would at least have knowledge of the terrain and, you know, where we want to be.
Yes, I would imagine its layer is going to be tricky, but at least what it will probably make its last stand. I could make different sounds. And he just like waves his hand, and like you hear the sound of a goat, one of the large goats making its sound. Exactly. But a giant one, so it's like
I mean,
whatever. Just... Oh god. Okay.
I never want to hear demonic jokes again.
At least the queen was saying that that's what he was maybe eating. Or just something to draw it out to investigate. What I read also is that it likes shiny things. So I could potentially draw it to a particular spot. And then don't clump up. That's probably the best advice.
We're planning to be separated. There's two things. First is there should be a designated regrouping place, should we need it. And the other is perhaps someone should take one of the sending stones and someone else should have the other one, just in case those two people need to communicate.
Yes, I can do a little bit of relay, my magic, but any larger than 120 feet, I think it is. Larger distances, that would make sense. Message has 120 feet on the range.
Well, I know that it only works once, but might be helpful. Maybe even to draw it out. If we left a sending stone outside of its domain, we might be able to send a message through it. Oh, I guess it has to hold it though. We could get it to hold it somehow.
Can make it look shiny.
Then, but it would already be out then. I don't think that's anything.
It may be best before we come up with a precise plan to try and see exactly what it is we're working with. It's all theory until then.
It is always better to have more intel. But... what was the marching order, by the way? I know Vael was in the back, and I just assumed Carrick was in the front because this is what he does. But
I would probably be second.
Melly was kind of watching everyone else to know like where to look. So she probably would have been, I guess, like towards the back, but not behind Vael.
Echo's probably right in the middle then.
okay, halfling in the middle.
It's the halfway halfling.
Everybody, kind of like 5 feet apart, that kind of thing, staying fairly close together as you travel through, or like what's your story? Talk to me.
As we approach, yeah,
Relatively close.
yeah.
Okay. Give me a perception check from everyone, including Isla.
Isla has a 14.
I get to re-roll those.
Max is a 22.
Same for Vael.
Melly got a 13.
Echo got a 5.
It's better than a natural one.
I rolled a 2. I re-rolled my 1 for a 2.
Lovely. Okay. So we'll say Mac and Vael. Actually, yeah, Mac and Vael are the first to notice it, but as you're climbing up this mountainside, you see this giant winged beast flying off in the distance, flying toward you. And if you wouldn't mind, why don't we pop open Fantasy Grounds, and I'm gonna share a little map with y'all.
Dun 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 dun.
And you see in the distance just this massive beast. As it is coming closer and closer to you, you hear of its massive wings flying. And is everything all right with Jake?
Oh, I'm gonna just refresh my camera. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. And we got it? Okay.
Should be all right. I mean, I still
This
hear.
awesome map is brought to you by our good friend Matt Tommy. His birthday is tomorrow. He was in chat before. I'm gonna just throw his link here real quick. He's awesome. I messaged him and I was like, hey, can you make this map for me? And he was like, sure thing. How many do you need? When do you need it? And he got it to me like the next day. So, this massive beast.
Why does Echo bigger than everybody else?
It's to show the size of his heart.
Oh, you.
That's great. So, directly in front of you, this dragon swoops down. It clearly sees you. Does anyone do anything initially as they see this dragon starting to... Do you
Vael
say
just says,
anything? Do
Take
you...
cover!
All right, let's roll initiative. We might not necessarily need it this moment, but let's roll it just to have it.
Okay. 15 for Vael. I guess I should have one for Isla too. Maybe. As Josh laughs evilly. Like, silly man. Dirty 20 for Isla.
Very nice.
12 for Mac.
Clearly she's familiar with this situation.
Okay.
Here all night, folks.
Echo got a 22.
Echo got a 22.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Okay, so 20 for Isla, 15 for Vael, 12 for Mac. Right.
15 for Vael is right. Yeah.
And I did not hear Melly's, if you said it.
16.
16.
I think that's the one of the first few times that Melly has gone before Vael and Mac.
It's not an easy task.
All right. Sorry, let me just I'm pulling up all the things. I always forget to bring up Carrick's character sheet. Blah, blah. There it is. Okay. So Carrick has a 19, and I don't think I have to tell you what the dragon has until we get to that point.
No, but you can if you choose to.
Well, if you'd like to know, it has a 21.
I guess it doesn't matter.
So Vael yells, "Get to cover!"
Mm-hmm.
This dragon stops in front of you. And it looks to you all and just says,
"Why do you hide?"
So he's just come that far. That's the map is exactly where he is, and he's hasn't taken aggressive action.
"Not yet."
I feel like Vael would just start separating. So
Okay, so Vael's just getting ready to just move and fight then.
he just sees that we're clumped up, and that's bad. I feel like that's kind of his mindset right now.
Okay.
So I should move him, or is this everybody at the same time kind of thing?
This is like I mean,
Or maybe he's just taking like one step
yeah, that's fine.
and then like kind of like another step, like kind of.
Yeah, like he's trying to be like, okay, let me just get out of here.
We're gonna, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The dragon will see this, and it will say,
If you mean to beat me in combat, it's going to be a rough day for you.
and he's just gonna start moving forward, I guess. And he kind of flies up. He's about like 20 feet up in the air right now. And with that, he will probably need everyone to make a wisdom save.
This is one of those things that gets lost in the mix.
I'm sorry, did Melly not have time to do anything?
This was you were 16 in initiative.
Oh, okay, we're in initiative already. That's already happening. Got it. Okay.
Can I ask what this happens to be a save against? Because it might be relevant for a halfling.
Yes, you can. This is
Okay,
a
thank you.
Against this ability is called Frightful Presence. So each creature within 120 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw to become frightened for 1 minute. And I should not have told you the number, but accidents happen.
I got an 18 for a 21.
Okay. Echo saves.
Well, I'm glad I have advantage against frightened things, because it's a 15 for a 15.
Very nice. Okay.
I'm deciding if I need to use my luck point, because I definitely failed.
Ooh.
Mally got a 22. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You said wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
All right.
Sounds like either way you should be fine.
No. Well, I used the wrong modifier. Sorry. That's a 15. My charisma my saving throw for charisma is like up
Much
there.
higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. No problem.
I'm gonna use my luck point because a 3 ain't gonna cut it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, dirty 20. Can't
All right.
have a disadvantage on every attack against this thing.
Very nice. So everyone saves. Literally everyone. But the dragon will. Oh, wait a sec. What the hell am I doing? Evan, I'm so sorry. You were supposed to go first. You had 22 in initiative. The dragon is moving towards you to attack. What does Echo do?
He's flying. He's 20 feet in the air.
He's 20 feet in the air, and I mean, you see how far away he is.
Yeah, that's gonna make it difficult. Huh. What is Echo gonna do? Let's see. The thing that he's just south of, is that like a small cliff?
Yes, it is. So this is like I'll just move him over a little bit just so you could see it. This is kind of like a ramp, like a hill going up. Like you are on a mountainside traveling up. The direction he is in is up. And you know where he is, he's like right on the edge. So I mean, from the ground, like where you're at, and at the bottom of that little like ledge thing, it's about 20 feet. But if you're up on the spot, you know, if you were to go up the ramp, it'd be about 10 feet away.
So let's say that somebody had an ability that let them double their movement speed and jumping distance. That might use a key point. And a crazy halfling did not get frightened by the presence of a dragon. He might theoretically be able to try to make something happen.
He might theoretically be able to try to make something happen.
Okay, because I think that's what Echo's gonna do.
All right.
I think that he would. I think he'd look at Melly for just a second and the bag, and then just like nod at her and just run. You'd see him like a faint gold aura flitter around him as he started his run, and he was running a lot quicker than normal. So I will expend 1 key point to use Step of the Wind and run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well, but he probably has an extended melee range, I would guess, but I don't know if Echo would know that, so he's just going to run as much as he can. But till he gets about 60 feet, so he could get a good, like, 5-10 foot run toward the edge of this thing.
Okay.
Stop on his heels, and then run to 70 feet and try to jump. Jump on this dragon.
All right, do your thing.
All right, what do I have to do?
To try to jump. I mean, how much do you have? Any movement left?
I have 10 feet of movement.
You have 10 feet of movement?
Yes, I moved 70 feet.
Let's see. I think there's specific rules for jumping. Let's see.
I thought it was that you could do it as long as it was within your movement, but if it's not, like if you're trying to break that it might require a check, but we may have to just confirm that.
I think that's fine. So it's either going to be athletics or the other thing. Well, what do you still have movement, right? You still have
Yeah,
left
I
to
still have
jump.
10 feet of movement.
Yeah, so just let me know what it looks like and go for it.
All right, yeah, it looks exactly like that. Echo just makes a beeline for that. Once he sees the dragon start to take off, he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's running as fast as he can, spins, stops on his heel, and then just gets a straight run to jump into this thing's path to try to land on its back. He doesn't know why he's doing this, but he does it.
All right. Do you think?
Okay, if he successfully lands on its back, then he's going to try to attack it.
If you're trying to land like on top of it, I'd say probably acrobatics.
Okay. I think that's only fair. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's another 18 for a 25.
Yeah, I'd say you're able to land on its back.
Okay, then Echo will take his staff and start whacking.
All right. Do you think?
Oh God! All right, I'm terrified right now. Okay, that is a 17 plus 8 for a 25.
25 hits.
Oh God. All right, the damage isn't great, but that's okay. That's 8 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And this is probably a bad idea, but I'd like him to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Let's see. That is a 19.
Okay, so he passes, but as part of my Crusher feat, when I hit a creature with an attack that does bludgeoning damage, I can move it 5 feet in any direction to an unoccupied space. I would like that 5 feet to be down.
You'd like to move it 5 feet down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's now like kind of hovering 5 feet above the ledge and 15 feet above the ground.
Okay. I do only get to do that once per turn, but I'm going to try to hit him again with my second attack.
All right.
Okay. It's not great. A 17.
17 misses.
Okay. Not able to get through the scales. Okay. So Echo makes those 2 hits and then tries to hold on, I guess. I think that's what he's doing.
Okay. All right. So roll like a strength or athletics, or if there's some sort of modifier that you think applies to it, roll to hold on.
I really don't think it would be fair to say acrobatics would work here because it's literally trying to hold on for dear life on the back of a dragon. So
yeah, no.
I guess this is a check or a saving throw.
This is, I'd say probably right at this point, a check.
Okay. Just to see how well he could hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's a 16. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Okay. Yeah,
For a -1, that's pretty good.
At this moment, you feel like you're holding on pretty tight. So we'll continue and see what happens next, as it is now the dragon's turn.
Uh-oh.
And after being hit, it kind of just
You're very brave, child. Let me show you what I can do.
and he will fly 30 feet up in the air and it's now like from the lowest point of the ground, it's like 45 feet up, and it's gonna turn its head and just kind of like reach behind and try to bite Echo, who is on his back. That's a 30 to hit.
That actually misses. It's the crazy. It's in my backstory.
Rough. So the dragon will do please hold. Dragon will do 8 12 piercing damage and 3 cold damage as you like almost like, you know, the teeth kind of scrape against you, and you also just feel this cold resonating off of it. And being hit while holding on to this, I'd say make a strength saving throw at this point.
Okay, luckily I'm proficient in those, so I do still get to add proficiency to it.
All right.
But that's a 17.
All right. I'd say like you kind of get like smacked back for a second, and just with the sheer force of like flying straight up and then getting bit, like you almost fall, but you're able to hold on for dear life. And it's a mosquito in here. So at this point, all right, he's gonna make a claw attack, but because you're on his back, this one's gonna be at disadvantage because, you know, it's like, have you ever seen a big dude try to scratch his back? It's like, you know, that's what I'm thinking. So, let's see how this goes. That is a 24 to hit.
That was with disadvantage?
That was with disadvantage.
Cool.
Without disadvantage, it was a 28.
All right.
So... that will be 11 points of slashing damage. Excuse me. 9 points of slashing damage. And I'll make another strength save.
Okay, thank you, dice. That is another 17.
All right. Very nice.
Oh my god.
So at this point, he's like,
You persistent little bug. Get off me.
and he will make one more claw attack against you, trying to get you off.
Well, he's right after he says that, Echo responds with, "If it helps, I regret this immediately."
This one is going to be a 14 to hit.
Okay, I'm actually able to avoid that.
All right. Very nice. So the dragon, now 45 feet up in the air, will end its turn. And that'll bring us to Isla, I guess. if Isla is involved.
Actually, Isla is going to just try and scout the area. Is this like the mouth of a cave, or is this is just on the mountainside itself?
This is on the mountainside itself.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna. I think Isla's just gonna wait and maybe be perched up in the tree or something like that, and just be out of harm's way. I don't know what to do with Isla.
A wise decision.
Yeah.
I guess that brings us to Carrick.
Michael had asked a pretty good question about this before. So, did the dragon still use its frightful presence?
Yes, we're just gonna say that happened
Previously.
previously.
Okay.
It was like as soon as you saw the dragon, it was like a
Okay.
"Ooh," you know,
Yeah. Okay.
because that
That
would
could have affected a lot. So that was
ridiculously unfair for me to be like, oh no, it wasn't supposed to be his turn. He reroll your saves, you know.
I think it actually can be part of the multi-attack action if it's similar to other
It
dragons.
is.
But yeah, okay. Which I just now realized. Okay.
All right, so Carrick will just say, that is a very large boy, and he will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. He'll move 30 feet, and let's throw Echo on top there, because that's where he is. And first off, Carrick is going to use his bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark. And then he's going to take out his longbow and he's going to make an attack. And that is a 14 to hit, which just flies right by. Misses. He's going to try again. And this one is a 19 to hit, which hits. So this is the fun part of a ranger. This is why I really love rangers, because he's going to roll a d8 for his arrow damage, a d6 for Hunter's Mark, and another d8 for Colossus Slayer because Echo damaged the dragon previously. Right. 15, and he will deal 20 points of piercing damage to this dragon. And you, Echo, you actually kind of feel this impact as it just smacks right into the dragon. Not like feel like it hurts you, but you just feel like the force of it travel through the dragon, and almost like just the vibrations. And it's and Carrick will end his turn. That will bring us to Melly.
Oh boy. I've been thinking this whole time about what I want to do. What I want to do is... Hold on, change my screen so I can look at the map a little more clear. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm there. So 5, 10, 15. I don't want to move too far away. Is Carrick still in my range? Is he still 30 feet? Or is he too far away?
Let's see. He is 15, 20, 25. He's like, I mean, let's say you're in an actual square, just to make things a little easier. He's just outside of 30 feet.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go 5, 10. Is this like under a tree?
It is under a tree.
Okay, so it's 5, 10, 15, because I want to stay under the tree. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the 3 of them. Hold on, sorry. Okay, bless is first level, and that's 3. So I'm going to do a second level bless and include myself in that. So everybody but Echo and the dragon are blessed. And there's nothing else that I can really do. So I'm just gonna, I guess, like, if I can, like, kind of get close to the tree. But also I want to have eyes on the dragon. So, like, kind of have cover. Not actually cover, but, like, feel like I'm slightly hidden.
Mhm.
And still be able to kind of see the dragon.
Yeah, more of like it makes you feel better rather than like you're 100% safe.
Yes, like when a child hides behind curtains, but you can still see their feet.
Yeah. When we used to have like thunderstorms and back with my old cat, he would stick his head under the bed and like his whole half of his body was sticking out, but he felt safe.
Yes, that.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so that'll end your turn there.
Yep.
Okay. So, Vael, it is your turn.
All right.
Actually,
Vael. Uh-oh.
The dragon is going to use his legendary action at the end of Melly's turn to use a wing attack. So any creature within 10 feet of the dragon must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or something happens. So there's only one of those creatures. Echo, make a dex save.
Already rolled it. It is a 19.
Is it a 19?
Mm-hmm.
That's a save, baby.
Oh.
But you still will take what is this?
Is this an area of effect thing?
It is.
And this is
Kind of.
dexterity to evade it?
It is.
Does evasion fall under this particular thing?
I'd say yes, it does. So that it would be 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Would
Oh
actually
no! So I take none damage.
Very nice. Very
That would
nice.
have been very bad.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it will also fly another like
He gets a whole move too.
yeah, it can fly up to half its flying speed.
Oof.
And also, just a little fun fact for you: if you failed that save, you would have been knocked prone. So very good save. As he moves up another 10 feet, bring him to 55 feet, and only 50 feet, and just moves a little bit further. Vael, it's your turn.
Alright. First things first, Vael is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think as he's running, he's just like, oh, Echo. he's going to use his bonus action and a first level spell slot to cast Hex on this creature. It's a 90-foot range with elevation. How do you feel about that?
Well, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40.
Kind of right on the.
I'd say it probably still hits. It's still
Okay. All right, so he's gonna do that. And then I get to choose an ability that the target has disadvantage on checks made with that ability. And I think I'm going to choose intelligence. It's not saves, but just
checks.
something.
Yeah.
And then he's going to attack. He's going to pull out a regular arrow and use the longbow of the wilds and attack. Oh, I get my D4 blessed die. Okay, so that's 20 plus 10 is also a 30 to hit.
Nice. Did you say 20 plus 10?
Well, it's 17 natural, 3 from bless,
Okay.
and plus 10 on the modifier. And then let's see here. So that's 7 plus 5. That's 12 magical piercing damage.
That's 12, you said?
Oh wait, plus hex damage. 12 piercing, plus 3 necrotic. Yeah, I feel like it's just some like dark shadows just seem to like pull from different places that the light may have been casting them, and they just seem to like swirl around the dragon for a second. They're almost like dancing around him as like a thing. Anyways, second attack. All right, so that's 12 plus 10 is a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay, actually, that's 3 more necrotic plus 11 piercing.
All right.
And that's going to end Vael's turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Mac. It's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run towards the dragon. 3, 4, 6, 7, and then a rare sight, but I'm gonna pull the short bow off of my back, and I am going to take a shot at the dragon with my short bow.
All right. Do you think? And there's an enemy within 5 feet of him, so I think you get sneak attack damage. If you hit.
But I do not, because it's a 17 that doesn't hit.
Yeah. That just.
And then on that note, then I'm gonna take my bonus action, and I'm gonna.
Did you use
Right,
your
that
bless
one.
with that?
Oh, no, I did not. I forgot that counts, and
Alright,
that is
you
a
get
20.
a plus 1.
So, does a 20 hit?
A 20 does hit.
Yay! That is 19 piercing damage.
Very nice.
And then I will run. And I'm not in the tree, I am under the tree.
Sounds good. How great is
You're
this
blessed.
map, by the way?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
I love the detail.
After Mac, back to Echo.
I think like starting to find the rhythm of when it flaps its wings. Echo finds that one beat to just like get himself up, lifts his staff up as high as it'll go, and just jabs it down as hard as he can.
All right.
To try to attack this guy. Oh god. 19.
19.
Yep.
That's a hit.
19. This would be... Oh, that's the wrong guy. There we go. Okay. With his Staff of the Wilds, he does 11 magical bludgeoning damage. And he'll push it down 5 feet with that first hit.
Okay.
Not that that does a lot for him, but he does it.
About 45 feet up.
Yep. He'll do a second attack with... Oh, why did I mark that off? I shouldn't have done that. Okay. That is a 18. Does an 18 hit?
Just hits.
Okay. We got it. We know the number now. Okay. Oh, max damage. That's 13 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I will spend a key point to use a flurry of blows and attack the dragon with my feet. That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
I would like this dragon to make a dexterity saving throw while he takes 7 magical bludgeoning damage.
That is... I'll just tell you this. He's gonna choose to succeed
Okay.
as he uses one of his legendary resistance.
Okay. I would also like him to make a Constitution saving throw, because I could do both.
And I'm sorry, what was the damage that it did? You said 7?
Oh, 7, yes.
Okay. Before we get too far past, I just want to make sure I mark that.
Okay. And I'm going to start to roll my... Well, I guess let's see what happens.
And that one is a 22.
Okay. All right, and Echo's going to make one more attack. I just got an extra 20 for a 28.
Roll that double damage, baby!
I'm going to roll that double damage, but things are about to get really exciting for our team, and I will go into that in just a moment, because I think this is the first time that this has happened since I've gotten this ability. Not great damage. It's 13 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I would also like him to make a dexterity saving throw, because I can do that for free on both of the flurry of blows.
Dang, it's a 17.
17 passes. But basically the implication of this is my crusher feat that I took a couple levels back. When I score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage to a creature, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the end of my next turn. The idea being that basically I've like hit that sweet spot, kind of crushed the armor in, so maybe it just like pierced one of the scales in or something that very lightly drew his attention away from everybody else.
Yeah. It's almost like when you hit him, like he kind of, like, because you're literally on top of him and he's flying, like he just kind of gets wobbly for a second.
But yes, I think with that last hit, that would be the end of the turn, and Echo would try to... He's getting a little winded, I think, from how hard he's having to swing at this thing to like make anything happen, but he tries to grab on to hold on as he lands that last hit and everything starts to get a little wobbly.
All right.
So I guess I'll make that strength check. Uh-oh. That's a 6.
You have a luck point if you choose to use it. Before we continue, I will let you decide.
Believe it or not, I actually don't think I'm going to use it.
All right. So, Echo, as you smack the crap out of this dragon, you're smacking it with your quarterstaff, you're kicking it with your feet. You hit it so hard with that last hit that it falters, and when it does that, you go to hold on and catch and save yourself. You're not able to do so, and instead you begin to fall. And let's have you, well, let's see, I think we said 50 feet, right? No, 45 feet at this point. So,
And now I just want to bring this up because I don't know if it'll make any difference what you're thinking. But there was 3 feet of snow that happened. And it was specified that there was 3 feet of snow today, overnight. Which means to me that probably wouldn't be heavily packed either. Just you do that with what you will as the DM.
So, if we were doing that at this part, everything would have been difficult terrain. So I figured this section, this amount of time had passed, some of it probably melted a little bit. But Echo, I'm gonna let you roll the damage. It's only gonna be 4d6.
Okay. Well, I have some good news for me, which is that I will use my reaction as I begin falling, and Echo has a moment as he's falling where he's just like, oh no, but then he spins down and just pushes out with both of his hands toward the ground, and you see this bright flash of key energy come from his hands, which slows his fall, reducing any fall damage that I take by 35 points of damage, which is much higher than the max that could be.
All right.
And he lands safely on the ground.
You land safely on the ground. You're not prone. I feel like I imagine the superhero landing is what you do, but
I think actually he rolls on landing, and technically it's still Echo's turn. Unless it's not anymore.
Did you say you ended your turn?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I don't remember. I'll say I don't remember what I said, but I'll say I remember saying I wanted to try to grab on to its back. But if basically my question is if I still have movement or not after that. But
so I was.
If not, that's completely fair.
Check at the end of your turn.
Okay. Oh, so that's more than fair then. Yeah.
But
okay, that's completely fair. I will accept that because that's a lot. It's a lot for 6 seconds.
It is. It's a ton for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But this dragon will.
You should have held on tighter. And
Mr. Jacoby. Let's see.
Yes.
Well, let's count this. Let's count this out. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So, a 60-foot cone starting from this specific place.
Okay. Is he still
except
in the air? Is he still in the air?
He I mean, I think he would understand how to use his ability best. So he actually,
I'm just wondering if he came down to do it. That's all.
actually, real quick, Echo, make a perception check.
Hold on 1 second. 16.
So you notice at the position that like when you were falling, you see that there's like a slice taken out of his one of his wings, and also I'd say you said that like he's got a big cut on the side of his face too. That's still kind of fresh, and he does land next to you. So he is on the ground. And Mr. Jake, I always defer to you on rules of cones and spheres and things of the sort.
Oh, okay.
A cone started from this position 60 feet out.
I would just... Is there 60 feet between him and Vael and Melly?
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. There's 45 feet between him and Vael and Melly.
It sounds like everybody but Mac
Okay.
to me,
So
but
he will
okay.
Embrace. I am death.
and
The math seems to check out.
as you see his lungs begin to glow blue. I think we'll pick up from there next week.
Oh my gosh. That's just so appropriately cruel. Wow.
Oh man, everybody, we finally did the thing. Face to face with the dragon. And oh man,
We
There's
didn't even
about to
get
be
its name.
it's about to be some con saves happening. But we're gonna have to pick up there next week, find out how everybody does. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun watching. I hope my players don't hate me too much. But this is a real cliffhanger, as they're on the edge of this mountain, fighting the white dragon. Hope you enjoyed yourself here. If you did, please check out J&J Tabletop on YouTube. If you do command J&J in chat, you'll be able to find all the things. If you follow us one place, you'll be able to follow us everywhere. If you like the map tonight, that was brought to us by Math Productions. His birthday is tomorrow, and he's got a sale going on his website. So check out his website. I believe the code is Happy Math Day. But if you just go to his website, go to his social, and you'll see all the information there. And well, if you want to catch up on past episodes, check them out on anywhere you could find podcasts at Rare Drop Roleplay. Also check out the playlist that we have on YouTube, youtube.com/J&J Tabletop. And I guess we'll see you on the next one. Everybody stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see how they roll on these saves.